Ready? Monsanto and the TPP.
Hands off our democracy!
Monsanto and the TPP.
Hands off our democracy!
Monsanto and the TPP.
Hands off our democracy!
I know the crowd is dissipating, but I know there are a lot of first-time activists here, and I think that's amazing, because it says a lot about the power of people to take control, and to standing together is a good first step. And of course, we need to take that further. We need to contact our legislators, and we need to vote with our wallet.
Hey, this is Dan. We're going to the Monsanto Protest over in the Hollywood district at the park. They're going around the Lloyd Center. I don't know how long they're doing this. I'm late already, but maybe I can get some action in. I do feel strongly about the Monsanto Protection Act that Bush or Obama put into effect, which basically puts Monsanto above the law. And so therefore there's nothing you can do to stop Monsanto. So we've got 55 cities across the United States protesting Monsanto because we don't want our food to be turned into alien substance that causes the body to react to these foreign substances.
Nucleus irradiated away. These two broken cells from different genera are then unnaturally fused together, and the resulting plants produce no pollen and can be used to make hybrid seed. It's not a GMO, but is it any better? I don't like hybrids in general, even the traditional types, because I see them as evolutionary dead ends and as a proprietary control mechanism so that farmers have to buy the seed from the company every year, as seed saving from hybrids is impractical. Not all hybrids are from cell fusion, but more and more are. For example, most of the broccoli is hybrid broccoli that we eat. As farmers, even as organic farmers, we have little choice than to grow this seed. I believe that this technology is fundamentally anti-evolutionary, and there will be many unforeseen consequences. Luckily, many plant breeders and seed growers agree, and we are working to correct this situation. Interestingly, some friends at Oregon State University are in the process of developing an open-pollinated, non-hybrid broccoli that is so far kicking the butts of the hybrids. We don't need them. Every year we have more and more examples of why we don't need them. But we are here today to protest Monsanto. We are here today to protest horrible things that Monsanto does under a smokescreen of trying to feed the world. Remember that it's not just Monsanto that is harming our health and soil and the biodiversity of our food system. They are just the biggest bully on the court. There's also Syngenta, BASF, DuPont, Dow, and many other companies that share the corrupt biotech ideology. However, as an ecologically minded plant breeder and seed producer, I have learned to like hard frost. I almost jumped for joy. I have seriously reframed these challenges because in the ecological school of life, what does not kill you makes you stronger. Every year our seed adapts to challenges and is getting stronger and stronger. Without these challenges, they would probably sit idle and content. This is a whole different way of looking at the world. It's a very ecological perspective. So we're all a little angry here, and that's good. But it's important and it's part of the process. So now I'm going to describe some of the ideological parasites we need to be concerned about and prepared for. Monsanto is not extremely active in the Willamette Valley, because they don't grow much corn and soy here. But there's a lot of sugar beets grown here for planting in the upper Midwest. The seed is produced in the Oregon's Willamette Valley. Oregon grows most of the sugar beet seed for the country, and we need to be aware that 80% of that is Roundup Ready GMO. Some special interests also want to grow canola in the valley, most of which is contaminated with GMO traits. These two crops threaten to contaminate our GMO-free seed with GMO traits. The valley grows a lot of chard, table beets, cabbage, kale, mizuna, and turnip seed, and much more, all of which are at risk. Something a little different that we also need to be concerned about is modification, is because Oregon-grown wheat is being sold to Asia where GMOs are banned. It's like a thief getting off on a technicality. The majority of Oregon-grown wheat is now this Clearfield variety, and it was bred by the BASF Corporation and with cooperation with Oregon State University. There are more almost GMO plant breeding techniques that we should also be concerned about. More and more of them called cytoplasmic male sterility with protoplast fusion. Cell fusion CMS hybrids for short. An example of this is when a Belgian endive cell has had its mitochondria and cytoplasm irradiated out of it, and then a sunflower cell has had its nucleus irradiated away. These two broken cells from different genera are then unnaturally fused together, and the resulting plants produce no pollen and can be used to make hybrid seed. It's not a GMO, but is it any better? I don't like hybrids in general, even the traditional types, because I see them as evolutionary dead ends and as a proprietary control mechanism so that farmers have to buy the seed from the company every year, as seed saving from hybrids is impractical. Not all hybrids are from cell fusion, but more and more are. For example, most of the broccoli is hybrid broccoli that we eat. As farmers, even as organic farmers, we have little choice than to grow this seed. I believe that this technology is fundamentally anti-evolutionary, and we will...
In two instances, the EPA caught labs hired by Monsanto falsifying data on Roundup to make it sound safer than it is. The European Union lists its active ingredient, glyphosate, as dangerous for the environment and toxic to aquatic organisms. Studies link it to birth defects and to cancer. The EPA is actually now reevaluating Roundup's active ingredient and is considering banning it in 2015. We're Portland. We're supposed to be leading the nation in being green. All around the country, cities are banning the use of pesticides, especially Roundup, in their parks. 90% of Chicago's parks are chemical-free. Yeah. The parks in Boulder, Colorado banned Roundup. Why not Portland? Please tell your neighbors about the dangers of Roundup and ask them to go toxin-free. And tell them that a wild lawn is a good lawn, because weeds are food and medicine. Thank you.
All right, how y'all doing? It is so great to look out onto a crowd of people who believe Monsanto should not be the ones to decide where our food comes from, how it was produced, or even how much we as consumers should know about the food on our plate. And you know what else? We're not alone. You may have heard earlier, Japan, New Zealand, Peru, and South Australia and many other countries have all banned Monsanto GMOs. They took a stand and they said, no more. Well, unfortunately, those countries that I just listed are part of a massive free trade agreement currently being negotiated called the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP. So, like I said, it's currently in negotiation between those 12 countries in the Pacific Rim, and that makes up 40% of our global economy. And it's only going to get bigger because it's being negotiated as a docking agreement. That means that other countries are going to be pressured to join on over time. It's also one of the most secretive trade deals to date. The public, the media, even most members of our Congress are barred from knowing what's being negotiated in our names. That's right. Yeah, well, if that makes you mad, this is really going to make you mad. Well, we're kept in the dark. 600 corporate corporate lobbyists are given special privileges to access the negotiating text and the negotiators. That's right. So, now, why is it that that these corporations get these kind of privileges? Let me just ask you this. Guess who's at the table? Yes. Monsanto. That's right. Monsanto. You know why Monsanto wants this? Monsanto sees the TPP as the Monsanto Protection Act on a global scale. So, what that's going to mean for us as people is that it's going to threaten our food sovereignty. It's going to threaten our ability to label GMO. And for just like the TPP, Monsanto's Protection Act, it was done completely in secret. And both the Monsanto Protection Act and the TPP would allow, even if we have a court decision made to restrict the sale of GMO seeds, it would allow them to continue selling this. So this is an attack on democracy. Corporations like Monsanto want this trade deal so that they can write the rules of trade, and it's against our public health. It threatens our public health, it threatens our environment, and it threatens our democracy. So, what? Oh, excuse me. This is what I'm counting on all of you to do. I need you to go out and let our elected officials, let our members of Congress know that we are counting on them to stop the corporate-backed TPP. And as citizens, as consumers, and as eaters, we are no longer going to stand by and let Monsanto write the rules of trade to further corporate consolidation of our food supply, to threaten food sovereignty, to threaten biodiversity, and to threaten food safety. Now, who's with me? Chant. When I say Monsanto and the TPP, you say hands off our democracy. Ready? Monsanto and the TPP.
Hands off our democracy!
Monsanto and the TPP.
Hands off our democracy!
Monsanto and the TPP.
Hands off our democracy!
Elizabeth. Next up we have Graham Clegg. He's a community placemaker.
How are you beautiful people doing out there today? It's very lovely in the light. My name is Graham Clegg. I am a small organic farmer up on Skyline in Newberry at Skyberry Farms. What I'm really here to talk to you guys today is about something that's going on right down the street. I've been working with the community for the past couple years now to restore a site right over here on 20th and Pacific that was once overrun by weeds and other noxious weeds that have made a monoculture. We made a monoculture out of what was a really awesome little green space that became a landscape. And so through the help of many members of this neighborhood, we've been able to restore the site, and we've installed a very large native pollinator garden. And putting in pollinator gardens, as you all know, is a great reaction to the insanity of just plants that aren't doing anything for us to help promote our advantageous insects. So to keep the local gardens alive and the bees happy, we put in this garden, and now we're capping it all off by doing an awesome street painting down below the garden, so that when you look at the street painting, you're actually looking through the garden, seeing the plants and the artwork. So, yeah. here. This is a print. I'm also a printmaker, and these are some of the prints I've been handing out just with the design. It's kind of a mandala of the Portland flag, which you might see over there on the bike paths and whatnot. But this is kind of like a clover design, and it's really going to be an awesome day. We're going to have music at 5 p.m. We'll start the painting at 11. So come on by. It's just right by the spinning milk jug right over there at Sunshine Dairy, 20th and Pacific. And yeah, come leave your mark and help continue to establish the sense of place that makes Portland what it is. So thank you all. Keep up the good fight.
I didn't get here because, like a lot of you, I found out that Roundup was poisoning my food, and I was angry when I found the FDA and the House Committee on Agriculture, who runs the USDA now apparently, were bought by Monsanto, and got furious. Okay, that's not how I got here. I got here because I was getting my botany degree, and I said, well, what if the genie gets out of the bottle? And everyone said, well, don't worry, because natural selection will take out of any bad traits, no problem. And I said, but didn't we use plant diseases to get it into the plants? What if plant diseases take it out? Because you know what natural selection would do for those plant diseases? Using plants and organisms as hosts, natural selection would help the disease. We'd have a bacteria planet. It's Armageddon. It scared me to death. So I went around and I said, isn't everybody worried about this? And this is the scary thing. I found out that the reason people weren't so worried was because the institutions that would have protected us were being eaten alive by Monsanto. So I was worried. I went home to my husband. I said, honey, I'd rather eat alien spider eggs than eat this food. So we quit. But it took us a year. And I was in a privileged position at that time to be able to do it. A lot of people are having a hard time quitting eating GMOs. So that's why we made our website, to at least catch you up to where we got a year later. I want to skip a minute. How do you know a vegan? Don't worry, they'll tell you. All right. What was the reputation of a vegetarian 20 years ago? Oh, I guess we have to accommodate you, right? What's it now? People who have their own stores and restaurants. Okay, so, the awkward situation comes up for us too. When somebody at the company picnic says, hey, I made you this special dish, it's natural. Yeah. Oh, so awkward. And a lot of us, unfortunately, feel compelled to eat it. And this is maybe where we're missing that opportunity. Because when a vegan goes to this company picnic and she says, I made you this dish, it's vegetarian. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm vegan. Okay, this is a principle, it's a virtue, but that vegan has in mind the blood trail on the way to the fork. So it's a little easy to go, no thank you, and I don't want to spend even $1 or have you spend $1 on this dirty food. Okay, that principle, that feeling, would naturally be here for GMOs. GMOs are powering these animal cruel situations, this factory farming. But a lot of vegetarians eat GMO because this whole idea about the blood trail to our forks hasn't really reached us. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to eat it, even if Marge might get her feelings hurt because she made it for us or whatever. So what we gotta do is, instead of thinking of it as the last 2%, where we eat it almost none of the time except in that difficult situation where we might hurt somebody's feelings. What? Because we have a principle? Use the word principle. I'm sorry, I can't eat it. It's my principle. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. It's a virtue, right? Okay. And you'll be surprised because probably the worst case scenario is at Grammys. Oh God, Grammy made it. Okay, it's okay. Because even though she might be disappointed you didn't eat her cheesecake, you'd be surprised how quickly she's saying, I told everybody you don't eat GMOs. Right? And they'll look it up and they'll find out, oh my God, it's not safe. What's going on? So it's a really powerful step. And you don't have to feel like a hypocrite if you eat GMOs at home because it's difficult and it's the money and the time and the knowledge, because that you're working on. But you can start with the hard 2% and feel it's the best 2% by saying no thank you when it's just a matter of being proud of your principle versus somebody's feelings about what you should be eating. So go for it. Say no thank you. All right. Yeah. Portland, and I want to give you another tool. I knew I was going to be speaking to a few thousand people, so we tried to put something up you could do. Imagine if we all got into groups of 10 right now, and they happen to be our next door neighbors. Yay, and we decide, okay, let's go shopping together. And another group said, hey, let's get together online and have a Google Hangout, like Skype with 10 people. And we will go through our cupboards and sticker our food and figure out how to get rid of these things. And my favorite, thank you, Kelly, is the GMO-free potluck, where we all bring a dish, and it's not only nutritious, delicious, GMO-free, but it's easy and cheap, because that's what we need to learn how to do, okay? But then you bring the ingredients and the boxes, the recipe, the receipt. We take pictures, and after one potluck, we bring home 10 recipes. One day! So, Ernie and I have on our website, GMO Free Portland, an interest form. So if you'd like to participate, if we get 1,000 responses, we're going to get people on board for this project. But we need to help each other accomplish the daily business of not eating GMO. So I want you to think about this principle when you think of the words, I will not eat GMO. Now for some of you who already don't eat it, that's who you are. Congratulations, and you never will. And for other people, it's a dream that you have. Okay, labeling bills are passing, bans are passing. It's going to get easier. Have a little faith and think about those words as your principle. Whether it's now or coming soon to your life, I will not eat GMO. All right? So hold on that for a second, because I was passed an announcement. This is wonderful. You guys know about the Oregon version of the Monsanto Protection Act. Senate Bill 633 passed. And we have to stop it in the House. The way to do that is to contact Tina Kotek, because we can stop it before it even goes to the House for a vote. So contact the Speaker, Tina Kotek, and say no to Senate Bill 633. Easy. Make those calls. Thank you. So I want to conclude. I have this plan, okay? Even if you eat them now and you don't know how you're going to get rid of them, just believe it's going to happen. If you don't eat them now, great. The words are, I will not eat GMO. And we're going to use the power of having all of these people here and use the magic to convert it in our minds the rest of the way, so we see the blood to our fork and we have an easier time saying no thank you in awkward situations and spreading that word, and it will carry us through the daily business of this difficult situation of not eating GMOs. And you know that we're here at GMO Free Portland to help you also. So I'm going to say it 10 times, louder and louder every time, I will not eat GMO. When we're done, since I'm the last speaker, let's give ourselves a round of applause and keep that applause going, because I'm going to ask Tiffany and all of the people who brought this to us to come up to the stage to our applause. Okay, so here it goes. I will not eat GMO, louder and louder every time, and then keep that applause going. Here we go. I will not eat GMO. 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 I will not eat GMO.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. I would like to thank all of my volunteers. Cassie for being my right-hand gal. I'd like to thank T.C. Smith for the sound system. I'd like to thank all of the speakers. Let's see, Daniel Shea, Paul Sanfuegos, Scott Bates, Julia DeBrock, Love Bongogo, Loco Alegria, Andy Westwood, Andrew Steele, Elizabeth Swagger, Becky Lerner, Mary Nichols, and Graham Clegg. Thank you very much.
You can take pictures like this too. He went behind him now.
I'm going to do a couple little thank yous and announce a GMO potluck on June 2nd, GMO-free potluck. It's hard. On Sunday, June 2nd.
Where?
2 o'clock, where? Location 2VA. Look to our Facebook for an announcement, or our website. I want to add a thank you to Idle No More, who did a kind of flash dance here in the morning, opened the space up for us, welcomed us into the space. Thank you. I know the crowd is dissipating, but I know there are a lot of first-time activists here, and I think that's amazing, because it says a lot about the power of people to take control, and to standing together is a good first step. And of course, we need to take that further. We need to contact our legislators, and we need to vote with our wallets. So I just want to have that reminder, close on that note. I should also thank my mom. She's not here, but thanks, Mom. And one other thing you can do, we're not just educating our communities and writing our legislators. We also need to educate the media. When you see articles in something like the Oregonian, and they maybe don't express your view, be sure to leave comments on those pages. They actually look at that. Be sure, write editorials, write letters to the editor. Get them out there and let folks know how dangerous this is and how passionate you are about it. Get Michael Taylor out of the FDA.